They're very nice clothes. But then there are other students that came with the latest fashion. You see, our school district, students in our school districts come from different social economics. And I think if parents and the community were made aware of the challenges that students are facing in their schools, they would step up to help because they care. They would bring suggestions to the school board and to the school superintendent of maybe looking into school uniforms and what impact it would make, starting with the middle school and also with the grade school. I found that children learn best when they feel a sense of unity in the classroom and also a feeling of belonging. Now, I've never worn school uniforms, but I've seen others wear them. And I also know that in school, private schools, they have been wearing school uniforms for a while. I know because my husband wore school uniforms when he went to private schools from kindergarten to 12th grade, and I think it made a big difference for him and also his siblings. My husband said, choosing what to wear was very simple for him, and it was easy choices that he had. So today I want to share with you some of the positive impact that wearing school uniforms may have on students in public schools and what some districts in the United States are doing to help families afford uniforms. Why are school uniforms important to families and students? Well, because it creates a positive impact, and uniforms are made affordable for families and for students as well. Students create positive attitude. Uniforms creates positive attitudes. Wearing these school uniforms in public and in private schools help make a difference in the lives of students. It creates a positive atmosphere as well as attitudes in the classroom among peers. President Clinton and the Department of Education were encouraging school districts to think about adopting school uniforms. The Department of Education in 1996 found that only 3% of public schools required school uniforms. But then in 2005, wearing school uniforms quadrupled that and jumped to 14%, especially in public schools. Uniforms are encouraged and worn in many of the large school districts throughout the country. But not all parents are welcome the idea of their children wearing school uniforms because not because they don't want their children's individualism taken away. But this was a time and also the belief that wearing uniforms in school would bring about a positive impact on students' behavior and discipline in the classroom. Wearing school uniforms instills respect for faculty, for administration, as well as students. Classroom behavior is reduced as well as peer pressure and increased student learning and positive attitude towards teachers and peers. There's also a feeling of pride for oneself and for their environment. School uniforms also brings about safety awareness among the students and faculty. It increases student attendance, builds good student-teacher relationship, as well as lowers school attendance, increases student attendance, builds school student-teacher relationship, as well as lowers school suspensions among students. Having school uniforms influences students in a positive way, as well as with teachers, parents, and community. It creates a positive relationships among students that can have a lasting impact. Students tend to behave differently and they become more involved in extracurricular activities. Many of the students find communities service projects to do, such as working in soup kitchens or delivering blankets to the homeless and tutoring students in the grade schools. Wearing school uniforms also takes the pressure off the parents and students. It helps students want to do well and become successful, and it also inspires students to do well, to do their best in the classroom. Now that I have talked about the positive impact that wearing school uniforms may have on students, I also want to talk about how parents can afford um, school uniforms and what schools are doing to help. School districts are trying to make uniforms affordable for families and students with information that they give out that they can purchase uniforms at consignment stores or thrift shops or any of the more popular stores that sell uniforms at a reasonable prices. Different schools will have simple uniforms for their students to purchase, and wear that is affordable to families. Uniforms for boys such as khaki pants and shorts, white polo shirt or white dress shirt with a tie. Plaid skirts for girls, khaki pants and shorts and a white blouse and a white polo shirts. These are some of the things that that schools are doing, and schools will implement other colors to add to the uniforms that students already have in place. It also relieves pressure for parents and students when trying to figure out what to wear to school every morning. I hope that bringing this topic of school uniforms in the forefront will help us understand some of the positive impact that it may have on students, and that uniforms are made affordable for families or to families, and that school districts are working with families to make this possible. Now, we know that school uniforms not only relieve stress from parents as well as students, but that students now feel that they can do much better in school and in the classroom. In conclusion, I just want to let you know and understand that uniforms worn by students, whether in private or public schools, have had a positive impact with their learning and behavior in the classrooms. Positive relationships are formed between teachers, students, and their peers. I have seen positive things that students have done in middle schools as well as high schools as they become involved in their community. A feeling of pride and accomplishment is set for these students in their uniforms, which is important to them. And the same can be said for the many students who choose not to wear uniforms. For the many students who choose to wear their uniforms to school, it is a pride that they feel and bring to themselves. Just as a police officer is proud to put on his or her uniform as they go to work every day. So, did the school uniforms make a difference with the students' behavior that I observed in the mall in Brisbane, Australia? You bet it did. You see, the students' behavior, their language, their actions showed me that not only did the uniforms they wear every day represent who they are as an individual, but it also represented their families, their faith, their schools, their community, and also their peers. Thank you.